After some time, I am once again returning to designing characters of the Atlantean warriors, especially focusing on the Atlantean Cavalry. The Atlanteans rode majestic, white horses, symbolizing the original purity of their nation before it was tainted by war, greed, and their own arrogance. This corruption came as they achieved rapid technological advancement, turning their island into the global superpower. According to latest lore, the Atlanteans arrived on the central continent of Ida during their campaign against the three nations, primarily the Tarkans, Vulterans and Elmarians. These nations were drawn into the conflict, but eventually played a crucial role in the defeating of the Atlanteans in the Battle of Eagle Mountain, driving them back into the sea. This pivotal event is recounted in the story of Rise of the Atlanteans. Following the war, much of the Atlanteans' advancement, technology and weaponry fell into the hands of the victors and was distributed among the different nations. However, this eventually led to tensions, and each nation claimed the lion's share of the credit for the victory. Old illustrations depict Tarkan cavalry or Almarian riders charging into the battle on the tall white horses. Interestingly, Tarkans carried traces of the Atlantean blood. After the battle, they captured women from the Atlantean camps who had followed their men into the hope of witnessing the Atlanteans' army conquest of the known world. This led to the theory that the legendary Tarkaquila might have been the last Atlantean king. However, by the time Atlantis was struck by disasters that halted their expansions, culminating in the Great Flood that devastated the known world and erased the Atlanteans from the history. Some descendants of the Atlanteans are said to have survived in the Toltec Mountains, a storyline explored in the prologue of my book. The Toltecs later become central to the story of Prince Tolan, which I am currently developing. Over the years, I have been designing Atlanteans, their culture, history, military, weapons and armor. One theme was remained constant: the sea. Their armor, forged from the rare metal orichalcum, is often shaped to resemble marine creatures, plants and shells. You can see this reflected in my illustrations. One of their defining symbols is the Kraken, representing their ambition to seize the world in their grasp and strangle it under their tyranny. Other symbols include octopuses and dolphins, which the Atlantean cavalry used to signify speed and endurance. The original design for the Atlantean cavalry remained consistent, although I have experimented with different looks for various eras and stories. I always return to the tried and true combination helmets inspired by Boeotian design used by Macedonian cavalry during the Peloponnesian War and Alexander the Great's campaigns, styled here to resemble seashells. The breastplates and shoulder and thigh guards were crafted from the metal scales. Cavalrymen were recruited from noble families and wore navy blue cloaks fastened at the right shoulder. Even their horses were adorned with precious metals and in later periods equipped with armor. On the battlefield they wielded long heavy lance. If their lances broke, they switched to the longsword for mounted combat and short blades for close quarter fighting. I believe the original inspiration for these riders was the Atlantean Contarius from the game Age of Mythology. The term Contarii originates from the Greek word for the spear, roughly 4 meters long. Atlantean mounted archers also make occasional appearances, especially during the wars for unifying the Atlantean island, when the fast and mobile army was essential to quelling rebellions. These mounted archers also play a role in the story of Bellovesus. During the Battle of Argos, where the protagonist, Castor, lures them into the ambush, annihilates them with a combination of heavily armored Argian hoplites and javelins thrown by Nari hunters. At the same time, Nari made a significant part of the population of the newly emerged Argian kingdom. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, love you all, special shout out to my Patreons, and see ya next time.